Hello, beautiful people. It's Robyn Thomas here with Resemble Me by Robyn. Welcome back to my channel. As you can see from the title, I'm going to be installing large, long, knotless box braids on my client today. And the first thing I really want to say about larger styles is that people think it should be quicker, it should be easier, and in most cases, yes, it is quicker, but it's not as quick as you think it'll be because you have to get so much of the hair into one section, and it has to be very, very neat. And me as a braider, I want to do it where it doesn't feel like I'm pulling your hair, it doesn't hurt and things like that. So I thought to do this video to just kind of explain a little bit about how to install these correctly so that you have longevity for your install, so that it's neat, so that it's not bulky, and to show a realistic time of how long it actually takes to make sure that this install is nice and neat. So in this video, I'll be installing 3 of her braids. I'm going to start with the back, and the back and the nape, or the back and the edge area, so the nape and the edges all around the perimeter, mostly will be thinner. The reason why it's going to be thinner than the middle of the head is because the perimeter of our hair does not have as much hair as the middle of our head does. So the one in the back, you're going to see me install it. I'm not really going to explain there. I'm going to wait till I get to the biggest braid to explain how I'm installing it. But I thought it would be very, very important to show how tedious it is to make sure that your lines are straight, your parts are straight, to make sure that every little hair is inside of the braid, you know what I'm saying? So large braids can last 4 to sometimes 6 weeks depending on the client, if a person is installing them correctly, and if the person who has the braids in keeps the upkeep as they should, you know. And that's just make sure that your hair is moisturized, making sure that you're wrapping your hair nightly, so that you're having to keep the braids nice and neat. When it comes to your edges, you want to make sure you are being extremely gentle, more gentle than you were at the nape of the hair or the nape of the head. But really gentle, making sure that you mold. One of the most important parts, especially with large braids period, is to make sure that you mold the hair exactly how you want the hair to be before you start inserting the weave hair. Okay, mold it exactly how you need it to be. Okay, mold. Do not put a ton of hair on the edges and on the nape. That's really why I wanted to show installing one of the nape pieces and one of the edge pieces, to show you no matter the density of a person's hair, it doesn't matter if their hair is thick all across the hairline and in the back, those braids should be thinner than the middle of your head. It should be smaller. You should never put too much hair to where it's going to end up weighing the client's hair down. Of course, after a while of wearing it and you have some new growth, it's going to start doing that. But there is no way a client should feel, or you as a person installing your own hair should feel, that your braids are pulling at your scalp, okay? So molding the hair before you start installing it, and as you can see in the first one and as you see right now, continuously molding the hair throughout installing the braid and making sure that everything is in place with every single loop that you're doing, every single revolution that you're doing, making sure that everything is in place is going to be extremely, extremely vital to making sure that your braids are nice and neat, okay? All right, so for the thickest parts of the hair or of the head, you want to make sure, and even with all pieces, but especially for the middle part, you want to make sure that you have product all around the perimeter of where you're going to be installing your braid. You would hate to get all the way down to the end and realize there is a one little piece that's out. So I am making sure that I am molding this piece as much as I can. And if you have seen in the first two braids, I am pulling the hair to the middle. I'm pulling the hair to the middle of the section, okay? I'm lifting it up. I'm pushing it down. I'm moving the sides to the middle. Everything is to the middle. As you can see, I have my fingers there. I'm holding it to make sure that it is in the middle of the head or middle of the section. Then I'm going to part it into 3 even parts, okay? Part it into 3 even parts, making sure to always comb that area with my hands or with my fingers, making sure that it is going up into the middle, as you can see right there, okay? I'm taking my comb to make sure that that part is going to lay nice and flat. You can see with all the other braids that are surrounding it that it is nice and flat. You take your first piece of hair, put it in. Make sure you have a really, really good grip. Make sure you have all of that hair together, okay? Make sure that it's very firm. You don't need to pull. It doesn't need to be so tight, but you want to make sure that all of those pieces are neatly together. So observing everything around it, making sure those right there is straight. These are This is a big braid. You know what I'm saying? You don't want it to be clumpy. You don't want it to have little bumps in the road or none of that. And the most important thing is making sure that I'm staying in the middle. Okay, I'm using my comb, I'm using my tools to make sure that all of it is together. As you can see, I'm lifting it up to show you I'm not at the bottom of the braid. Yes, the hair is going to hang like the rest of the braids, but I'm not installing it. I'm not pulling all of the, or molding all of the hair down to the bottom. I molded all the hair in the middle to make sure that it's nice and neat. And what I do is I like to pull just a little bit. It doesn't hurt. As you can see, she's chilling. Pull and make sure I'm molding as I'm going, because these are such big braids. You will not be able to mold it afterwards, or if you do, it will not last and your client will not be happy with you. So make sure you are molding as you are installing each section, as you do each revolution. And excuse me the way I'm talking, I just got my wisdom teeth pulled. So I feel like I still have like stuff in my mouth. Okay, so I'm making sure that all of this is nice and neat together. When I change my hand placement, now I'm going to work to where I can try to get that hair in the back of that braid, okay? So I do a couple of revolutions and I pull that hair out. I want to make sure that hair is nice and neat and straight. No clumps, no lumps. Okay? That's going to help with the longevity of the style. As each section gets to the right side, which is my dominant hand, I make sure to place it behind that hair and continue to braid, okay? I'm placing it behind that hair, trying to straighten out all of those pieces as I can, knowing that I always have my comb as a tool. Got my comb, combing that in, and I place it in the back so that I don't have to worry about her hair. Her hair is already tucked. You want to tuck hair, especially in thicker braids, as quick as possible. Tucking it as soon as possible is going to help it stay neat. It's going to help you not have to do so much work when it comes to tucking those ends, especially when they have very healthy shaped ends, okay? So she didn't just get her ends trimmed, but her ends still are very, very good from her last trim that she did get. And I'm just adding product as I need to, making sure those sections are nice and neat and not adding too much. As you can see, I didn't add it all the way from the beginning to the end because that section is thick. The gel that I use is a nourishing gel. It's not a hardening gel. So I would need to continue to apply it. So to make sure that I'm not doing too much, you know what I'm saying, and not wasting unnecessary product, I add it as I go along. Now I need to add a piece because I can feel the thickness leaving, right? And I want it to be thick all the way. Her hair is about to end and I don't want it to be such a drastic change. So I'm going to add a very thin piece. And I'm going to continue to braid down, okay? I'm just feeling as I go along at this point. I'm adding another thin piece. Okay, add it underneath so that it installs flawlessly, seamlessly. And I'm going to continue braiding down, making sure that all of those areas are nice and straight as possible. No clumps, no lumps, no bumps, no humps, no dumps, no none of that, okay? And then I continue to braid and braid and braid and braid. If I need to, I add a piece, which I know I'm done right now. But add very small pieces. Never add super huge pieces, you know, as you go. Always keep your comb with you to make sure that you're able to straighten out those areas and all of that good stuff. All right, so I am going to complete this install. I'm going to let you guys watch. I hope that this was helpful to someone who needed help with installing their large braids, especially on super thick hair. Thank you to all of my subscribers who are coming back. Thank you to those who are new here. If you are new here and you have not subscribed yet, I hope this video leads you to subscribing to my channel, as I like to bring content to help you install braids that are healthy for your hair, so it's not taking out your hair. Thank you all again, and I'll see you all next time. Peace and blessings.